Hi, welcome to Bookwood. I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. If you haven't met before, my name is Mashou and I create bookish and journal-related content over here on YouTube. Today we are back at the frog pond that we visited a few weeks ago. That would have been in May. I will link the vlog in the corner above. And I'm here to film the reviews for my carousel vlog. That's a weekly vlog in which I talk to you about the books that I have read this week, and that I share with you some images of the activities that I have done, mostly with my family. This is a short vlog, I think. I say that every time and then I end up with a longer video, but we are going to spend 3 days only, since in my previous carousel vlog that was a little bit late because of the end of year stuff or end of school year stuff, I included up till Tuesday so that I could also round up the reads for the amazing readathon, which reminds me that I will need to include in this vlog the creating of the winner spread. That will be somewhere near the end, I think. And this weekend we have TBRathon with Leandra, so I will make a vlog about that on its own, as I do every month. And that leaves us with 3 reading days to cover, and I did not do miracles on 3 days. I finished 1 audiobook and I read 1 manga. And I suggest that we start by talking about this manga. It's the 4th volume in the series La sorcière aux champignons, or the witch with the mushrooms. It is a series that up till now is not translated to English, but who knows, maybe one day it will. I read the first 3 volumes quite some time ago. I will try to find that back for you also. And I waited a very, very long time for this 4th installment. I'm still waiting on the 5th. So we will be talking about this series a little bit more. And this is quite a cozy feeling fantasy world, or at least now at the start, in which we are following a black witch, and she's called that way because her body is poisoned, and that's because she absorbs all the poison that is in our world, or the world of this manga. And to do so, she also has like mushrooms trailing everywhere she goes, and she can use mushrooms like to help her and to defend her. And the first 3 volumes were quite introductive. We also met a white witch who becomes a trainee of their little household, and that's what we mainly will follow along in the 4th one. We will see the training of this white witch, how that the ways black witches are trained does not work for him, and how he comes to a system to train himself. But also we will start to see that in this world witches are really not appreciated. There is some kind of hunt going on, because they seem to attract something like nightmares, monsters to the villages, and people think it's the witches, but we already know that it is the poisoning of the land that attracts them, and that in fact the witches combat them. And we also see that there are other type of witches that we will need to encounter yet. And I didn't expect, which I should have, that we would have like a more darker part to this story, but I really enjoyed it. So I am very sad that I still have the fifth on hold, because I really want to read it. It is cute, and I feel the story is told very fluently, and yeah, I just want to dive in more and know more now. I thought we might take use of this occasion of lesser books in the vlog to go over some of the questions of the mid-year freak out tag. I was inspired by Louise, again at Foxes and Fairy Tales. She did this tag, and she asked if we could give in the comments some titles of the books for the questions, and I needed to think a little bit about that. And so Louise, you wanted the answers. Here they are. So the first question of this tag is the best book that you've read so far, and I will put in that my first 5-star read of this year, which was a non-fiction book called The Wisdom of Wolves. It deserves the title of the best book I've read because of several reasons. The first one is it really gripped me, and I really got excited about wolves and everything that's told in this book. And I think my family is so done with me talking about that book that that suggests that I have really enjoyed this read and learned a lot of stuff. The second reason is because, well, I did learn a lot of stuff. Let's let the wind go by. I was impressed about how much that I picked up from information of this book, especially because of also the third reason why I feel this has honor of this title is it is told. You learn so much in a way that you're like reading a normal story, but you never forget that it is non-fiction anyways. I felt that was very magical, and it made me want to read more non-fiction again. I don't know, somewhere in my mind non-fiction became like boring and encyclopedia-esque, and in fact there is so many books out there that are not that way. So yeah, best book of the year so far. The best sequel I have read is Torchfire. That is the second book in the Torch trilogy, and I have been looking forward to reading this book for a long time, since I finished the first one. The first one was a gift of my husband. I had no clue what it was about. In this universe, we have a post-apocalyptic Earth. Something happened. It makes me feel like it would have been like some type of nuclear problem, because many parts of the world are not fit for living in, and the world has divided like in two main parts. We see two main parts in the first one, and in one of these lands our main character, Alouette in French, lives, and in these lands magic is seen as a very bad thing. It needs to be eradicated. People who have it are dangerous. And they have a very, very unique magic. It's more like some kind of telepathy. They can reach out and communicate over distance with other people, but they can also make these people share the events they are going through, and in some cases even these people can add some of their willpower to change things up, for example, or to gain force or courage. This is a very unique magic system. And in this land, well, if you are discovered to have magic, then you are taken away, brought to what's called the House of the Chrysalids, where basically, or you accept to help track down other witches, or you are taken to do some brain surgery that makes you a zombie, basically, and you are put into like forced labor. And of course we are going to follow a bunch of people who have this magic, but we will also follow people who do not have this magic. We'll follow some politicians in their very corrupt ways. I feel it is shining a light on the situation and on different opinions, and of seeing the problem, or the facts in different angles, and that's very interesting. And we will quickly learn that there is another part of the world where these magic people, magic bearers, are seen as very helpful to society, where they are basically put on a pedestal, where they are surrounded with a lot of care. And it's no surprise that the aim at first will be to leave the first country and to go to the second one to be safe. But of course this will escalate into, we are going to try to take down what's happening in the first country. And the second book just adds even another level and another way of seeing this magic. There will be another people involved for whom magic is basically what is for an elite, and they do look down on the people who do not have magic. And that also has some points of views and a lot of things that imply. And I'm now very looking forward to read the third book in this series, because I want to know how this is going to turn out. And I hope that somebody else is going to read this series, because I never heard anyone talking about it. It's a little bit sad. I will skip the question about new releases. I read through the library. I have a vlog about that. And this means that I often do not have easy access to the new releases. I did read one just now. It's the one I'm going to talk afterwards. So, but it's very rare, so I'm going to skip that. The book that was the biggest disappointment to me was Le Livre des Soeurs by Amélie Nothomb, which is one of my favorite Belgian authors. And I read this book, which has as the theme sisterhood. And I don't know, I didn't feel the connection with this book that I had in other books. And even if the sisterhood theme is explored in an interesting way, also to me maybe a bit an unrealistic way. And even if it was very Amélie Nothomb, well, yeah, it's one I really wanted something else from. The favorite new author is Roshani Chokshi, if I pronounce it right. I haven't reviewed the book yet because I am still in the midst of it. It is the author of The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, which is a book that I've been looking forward to read for a very, very long time, and it finally got translated. Yay, I was very happy with that. And so I'm reading it in the French translation. And I have like less than a quarter left. So I hope to finish it at the start of next week. So I'm not going to talk about the book itself, but the reason why I picked this author, it's because of the beautiful writing style. I really love the poetic way she writes, but I also really love how the story that I'm reading now from her is built up, how it mingles mythology with the real world, how it puts a little sharp edge on it without really going into like horrific things. It is very atmospheric, and I really love that type of writing. So I will be following this author and see what she writes more, because I will be trying those other works out. The newest fictional crush. I don't read many like romance stuff, and so I feel this is something really tied to romances. I don't know. It's a completely stupid idea now that I say it out loud, because you could like any other character. But the one that I have decided to pick is Callan from the Magical Botanist series, or the Evergreen Academy and Conservatory, the books that I have read. I still need to read the third one. I don't know, I like this guy. This book series is very cozy, and so it is all made to feel very warm, blankety, magically, and it's really, really well done, this atmosphere as well. And Callan is like I compare him to Edward Cullen in the Twilight series, even if I am more Team Jacob in that one. It's a mysterious, handsome guy, very tortured on the inside, that is very caring for the main character, Briar. He's helping her often in very small, unnoticed ways. He's also very respectful towards her. But what is the big difference with Edward Cullen is that he gives her plenty of room to be herself. And I think that is what makes him so nice. Caring, but then also like, live your life and be yourself. Sounds nice. Sounds very unrealistic also, but it's not about realism here, right? My newest favorite character, that was a very hard one, because I have read a lot of books with very intriguing and interesting characters, but I ended up picking Sophie from the duology La Folle Destinée de Kerdelec, of which I read the first one for TBRathon as an historical fiction. I don't know if I have enough little links, but if I have one, I will link that vlog up there. And this is a duology written by Ade Martel, but under her real name, which is Aurore Drécourt. She's a Belgian author. She lives in the same area as me. She's from Liège, and she writes a whole lot of different books, and she's an historian. And the book of the duology I'm talking about is quite historical correct, which makes it a very interesting read. But Sophie is the female half of twins, and her brother Etienne disappears. And in this book, Etienne is meant to follow up his father as the lord of the land, and Sophie, well, she's meant to get married and be a woman in this time period. But Etienne isn't interested in this role, and from childhood, Sophie has been taking his place, like in fighting lessons and things like that. And then one day, when they are about to inherit a bunch of money that they really need, Etienne and a document go missing. And this puts her whole family future and the future of her sisters, one sister and one brother, or the other siblings, at risk. And so Sophie decides to step in and to take on the role of Etienne. And she goes through a whole bunch of adventures pretending to be him. And I feel she's such a strong character. I feel that she does such a good job staying also who she is. And we have like a very rich inner life centered around like being Etienne, being Sophie, taking decisions for herself, but also for her brother, but then decisions that her brother would have taken and would not embarrass him the day that he comes back. and I was really impressed with her, so I will nominate her as my favorite character for so far this year. The next one is a book that makes you cry, or that made you cry, and I will put in there Ubac and Me, which is a graphic novel that I read. The graphic novel only is in French, but the rest, the novel exists in English, and it's a true story of the life of a dog. And of course, at some point, let's be honest, the dog will pass away, and I did cry. The book that made me happy, I thought that was a very difficult one because I tend to read fantasy and to read books that are more like or emotional or fighting and stuff like that. And I ended up putting in there a manga that I listened to in audio, which was called I need to look. I Had That Same Dream Again. This manga series is about a girl that visits people because she needs to write an essay about happiness, and she's trying to find out what it is. And I was very touched by that, and it did make me feel very happy because she goes like exploring all kinds of little things that can make you happy, and they made me think about all the little things that we so easily overlook, especially when we are very busy or in pain like I can be sometimes. And it reminded me of all the good things that there are, and yeah, that made me very happy. So if you want to read something very feel good, it's an audiobook. It was Audible included for me. I'm not sure it is for everybody, and otherwise it is a manga and a light novel series. I will skip also the part of the most beautiful book that I've bought. I do not buy that many books. If I need to, out of the few that I did buy, I would say that would be again a Torchlight, because I bought it in a hardcover edition, and otherwise I always buy like more pocket editions and stuff like that. So very quick. And then the last question is a book that I really want to get to by the end of this year. And I will have to look up the title in English, and even maybe the one in French. Oh, that's so horrible. But the one that I'm thinking about is the book that I saw when we went to visit Namur for La Nuit Blanche, and we went to visit also for Hackathon. That was the Star Observatory, and there was an announcement on the walls. I filmed it. I will try to link that as well, of course. A publicity for a book that is a sci-fi and that is written by a professor of the university. And you see, before leaving, I said I was going to look that up, and I forgot. This is a trilogy, and I know that it is coming out in Kindle Unlimited for the English version right now, around now, all three of them, each with 1 month separated. So I really want to read them before the end of the year, so I can talk to you about them, because a Belgian author, a local Belgian author for me, that has been translated to English, that is not something we see every day. So I am curious about his work, and I'm very excited to present it to you. We will go into some B-roll that I filmed Wednesday. We had the inauguration of the park. I have been filming there from time to time already, but we had like the official festive opening of it. And we visited that event, the kids and I, and we made some images, and it will mostly be butterflies, but we also did some painting. There was like normally an activity about birds. There was a walk in the forest that I didn't film because it was like half an hour long and with a lot of people. There were jumping castles for the kids, and there was also supposed to be a hunt game for like occupy like teens, but that didn't work out very well. But we had a very good time. We saw a lot of different butterflies, and so you will have a lot of different butterflies in the next little part. The second book I finished this week was a Fodder Material by Alexis Hall. I have been listening to that audiobook since last week, so I'm very happy that I made it through. I loved it. So this is the third book in the London Calling series, and when I listened to the first one, in which I needed LGBTQI plus reference, I said to myself, well, it's romance. I'm gonna keep this series like somewhere tucked away, because I can pick a book from that if I need to read another book for such a prompt. But I loved it a lot. And then Louise, we are talking a lot about you today. Proposed to do buddy reads for the books because she was going to reread all the three or the first two to read the third one when it came out this month. And of course I was like, yeah, count me in, going to do that, because I really loved the first one. And if you have followed along, the second one I liked a little bit less, or at least a part of it, but this third one really got back to the same style of humor and writing and banter between the characters than we had in the first, and so I was immediately sold. In this series we are going to be in the character Lucien, or Luc, and he is the unique son of two old rock stars that are now divorced. His father just walked away on his mother, and he is quite messed up about a lot of things. And in the first one, we meet him working for this Beatle charity, in which he has a little problem. His reputation as the wrong type of gay person is harming his work, and so he's asked to find a decent boyfriend so that the donors come back. And he will start fake dating Oliver, who is a barista, who is I would call it a lawyer, who works in law, and is a complete opposite of Luke. And of course, this fake dating turns around in real dating. In the second book, they are sucked in the everybody's getting married thing. And of course, they are going to do them. But I felt, it was a bit long. Go see my review for that one. And in this one, well, we have passed the everybody's getting married thing. So we are now in the everybody somehow is thinking about having kids. And we have a lot of different couples and a lot of different views and takes and ways how it goes with these kids. We have like the heterosexual couple, of which one is bisexual, who has a naturally conceived baby. We have a gay couple that adopted a little boy. We have a couple that is child-free by choice. We have a couple that really wants one but has a lot of trouble conceiving. And then we have Oliver and Lucien, who, well, decide to take a dog to see if they can make it survive, if they can raise it, if they can be good dog parents, because that would mean that they would be good human parents. And they chose a very unexpected way of becoming parents, because of course we are going there. And I thought that was very original. I am not sure if it is a spoiler or not. So if you're a little bit easily spoiled or like to have books with less information, just skip ahead a little bit. But they choose to foster instead of adopt, because adoption would be a very long and difficult process, but fostering is faster. And also they would help children in need, which is very much an Oliver thing. And of course, the first foster child they get is a teenager, a 14-year-old taken away from her mom that has some mental health issues, but that the daughter doesn't want to be taken away from. She wants to go back to her mom. And so this is quite a difficult situation to go through. and we see how both react in what's for them a very typical way, and how this makes them grow and makes their relationship stronger. I really enjoyed it. I was happy to be back in the same, like I said, the same vibe of book one. And now I am a little bit sad that it is marked as completed on Alexis Hall website, because I want to look if maybe there were plans for a fourth. We don't know. Midlife crisis, jobs change, an effective adoption, illness. I want to see them go through like everything so much that I like this world. Yeah, I am going to keep exploring Alexis Hall's books. I think this is like the LGBTQI plus ref go-to. If I have a prompt like that, I know where to go now. I'm not lost anymore, and that makes me very happy. On the way out, I will put the images of me updating the last spread of my June reading journal, which is making a little spread for like the winners of the Amazing Readathon. And the winner is Team Allons-y. So congratulations to you all, and congratulations, Leandra. I think it's the second time in a row that you win. Well done. I hope that you had a nice week, a nice reading week as well. If you want to hang out with me some more, then I would be very happy to meet up with you again. You can submit to this channel. Subscribe to this channel if you want to be in a place you can easily find me back. You can hit on those notification bell that will notify you as soon as I have another video on. And I hope that we are going back onto the normal schedule. I will be the whole month of July off at home, so normally things should go back to normal. And if you enjoyed this video, like it so that other people can discover it as well, and maybe join our little group. See you soon!